Hello, and you're listening to the Tiny Vet Podcast with me, Dr. Nicole Sue. Currently really full. I went out for dinner and I'm stuffed. And my fiance.
Comedian Jez Watts. We just got our first dehumidifier, which magically removes moisture.
Oh, amazing.
Directly from the air, and I now realize stand-up comedy is just like a dehumidifier, but like instead of removing water from the air, it slowly removes money and respect from everyone around you. So in a sense, what I do is magic. An abracadabra! That was money disappearing from the bank.
I better have rent this month.
I do.
It's coming up. It's next week.
I'm aware. Yes, it is going to be covered. Everything's all good. Everything's fine. Everything's... Don't ignore the saw that's about to cut you in half. What are we talking about today, my love?
Another kind of money waster.
Just having pets in general? Is that
Hey!
Having a horse, for sure.
Oh my god, so expensive.
Yep.
Not...
What's the money waster?
high protein dog food.
Oh, that sounds like it's good.
It does, right?
To a layman.
Right, like it sounds good, like, high protein meals.
Yeah.
And it's super common now. And I think it stems from like, if some's good, more is better.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right?
I think it's a very common sort of intellectual error I think we all make.
Yeah.
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 Like people who get like mega dose of vitamins and stuff, and so
Yeah.
you can get sick. There are people who have died
Yeah, the fat soluble ones.
from having mega doses, but in general it's just like you just excrete all the extra.
Yeah, fun fact. That's why you cannot eat polar bear liver, because you get hypervitaminosis A and your skin falls off.
I'm glad you told me, because I had planned for dessert tonight with polar bear liver. It's good to get in front of this. This is why you listen to the Tiny Vet podcast.
Do you remember any physiology?
I didn't even learn that much of it, but yeah. What's
Jesus
the question?
Christ, what did you learn?
Genetics and statistics and molecular biology, and then vague amounts of the brain.
They gave you a master's in neuroscience.
Did bioinformatics? That's a big fancy word.
Know what that is?
It's like it's programming plus biology essentially. It's like using fancy tech stuff to investigate big data sets and whatnot. Listen, this is not what the podcast is about. Yes, physiology. What are we talking about? Physiology.
So do you know protein metabolism?
Oh, I remember learning.
Do you know what essential amino acids
I know
are?
that.
You know what that one? What are they?
Are.
Okay, go on. What are they?
Oh, you're saying which ones are they?
No, but what define an essential amino acid?
No, I remember memorizing a list of them.
Methionine.
Yeah. Well, it's fine, but like I don't know them anymore. And you memorize it for the exam, and then you never use it anymore because you can Google things.
So an essential amino acid is an amino acid that you cannot synthesize, so you have to get it from your diet.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
That's what they're called, essential.
Yes, correct. And in terms of protein metabolism, you need a specific amount of protein in your diet, and any excess to that is broken down and excreted.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you didn't know that. You were at university for so long.
I know. I learned a lot of stuff that you didn't learn. And I also used to smoke weed every day.
Oh, man. It's like that time when I was like, cranial caudal. And you went, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean, what? This is like basic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for dogs, they need about 18 to 22% of protein in the diet.
Okay.
And anything excess to that is broken down and it's peed out, essentially. There's like urea, creatinine in the urine.
Yep.
So that means that protein levels in dog food that's higher than that, no point.
It's just wasted.
It's like
the mega vitamins.
Yeah, it's like the mega vitamins, absolutely. Yeah. Now, yes, there will be some uses for super high protein diets.
So I guess let me ask, so let's say in a person when they have a very high protein diet, why is that better or worse or whatever than having a more balanced diet?
Yeah, so weight loss.
Yeah.
So protein can help you feel fuller with fewer calories.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But, to be...
So a big part of it is satiety.
Satiety, yeah.
Right.
So in some weight loss...
Which for dogs doesn't count because they just get what they're given.
Yeah, I guess, but, a la Artichoke and his current diet, they sometimes get sad.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like what they're given.
So a high-protein diet for dogs would make them, ask for food less? Is that right?
Yeah, so it is used in some weight loss diets to help trigger satiety. So that is one thing. And high-performing athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. So your average dog in your average household is very unlikely to require...
Oh, you mean athlete dogs?
Athlete dogs, yeah. Well, do you think I was like, oh yeah, that's human athletes' dog food? Is that what you thought I was trying to say?
Well, listen, the economic and civilization collapse is coming. We're all going to be eating dog food soon. But I didn't think of dogs as being athletes.
Well, yeah, so... dog sports? You don't know about dog sports?
I've seen you watch stuff online, and I'm just like, that looks. I don't even watch human sports. I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch some pet run around and jump through a.
Well, so there are some working performance dogs that will require high just because their muscle breakdown and turnover is higher.
Okay,
yeah.
right. Okay.
But also, when you think about that, it's not just about feeding the protein; it's when they're having the protein. It's along with the training regimen. Like I remember. Oh, you're going to roll your eyes so hard when I say this, but I'm just going to say it.
Right.
So when Sebastian Stan was doing bulking up for the Winter Soldier, he had to wake up at 3 a.m.
She
and
really
eat.
loves Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, it's really hot.
She's had a crush on him for a long time.
What was that?
What was this podcast about again?
Yeah, who? What? So he had to wake up at 3 a.m., eat 2 chicken breasts, and then go back to bed.
Yeah,
it was horrendous.
Yeah.
But that's the level of insanity you need, in that kind of muscle building regimen.
Right.
So that's
weird. You said breeding with Sebastian Stan on the mind.
Yeah,
huh?
I did. I was hoping you wouldn't realize.
Little Freudian slip. All right, let's get back to the dogs.
Anyway,
if you can drag yourself away from the mental images you have now.
This is a child-friendly podcast.
Yes. No, you have them mentally. You don't have to verbalize them.
Anyway, but that's the level of insanity you need when you're going oh yeah, my diet has to be 30-40% protein. The timing and all that, it just has to be so insane.
Right. But for dogs in general,
no need.
Yeah, it's completely wasted.
Yeah.
So then why are they marketing it?
Yeah, and don't forget as well, the people who train to look like that, it's not functional. It's totally aesthetic.
Yeah, and they can't act.
You liked you liked the figure skating movie. You told me, Tonya. Yeah, you said you liked it.
He actually acted great in that.
Right.
And I even like him, but I don't want to be on his side because you would prefer I was him.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah, all right. So I can't be on his side. The woman I love most in the world loves him. So that's no good for me.
If you don't know him, just look him up. You'll understand. So you're saying why it's marketing? It's to take advantage of the human, high protein fat, and all of these things going around. And again, the thing where people go, oh, if some is good, more is better.
Yep.
And the other thing that we forget as well is not necessarily it's the percentage of crude protein in the diet, but it's the digestibility as well.
Okay.
And this is another thing where it makes me go, oh, raw diets. Why? Because anything raw is so much less digestible than something cooked. That's one of the reasons why, humans...
We cook it.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, why human beings have been able to...
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Develop the way it developed because the cooking has just made the nutritional content so much more digestible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're feeding
and more dense as well. Calorie dense
absolutely.
For the same volume.
And don't forget, the act of digestion is actually very energy intensive.
Exactly. Yeah, and so cooking bypasses some of it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So let's say you're feeding a diet that's 30% poor quality indigestible protein. That's so much worse than feeding something that's 20% high quality.
Tell me every step in glycolysis. Go, and I'll make fun of you unless you do it exactly right, even though you learned this 10 years ago.
So first you have glucose.
All right, screw off.
Yeah, well then there's also the reverse gluconeogenesis.
Yes, I know, absolutely.
Suck it. Anyway. That's me on protein metabolism.
Alright, go think more about Sebastian's dad.
The Tiny Vet podcast is brought to you by Upilio. Sources for our topics can be found at upilio.io. Outro music by Matt Charleston.